Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulent. Today we're going to be featuring our variegated Graptophytum Supreme, or also known as the Variegated Pachythoides. This is a hybrid cross between Graptophytum and Pachyphytum. This is considered as a medium-sized succulent with an upright growth habit. Given it the right living conditions, yung kanyang rosettes would grow up to 8 inches or 20 centimeters in diameter. Yung kanyang leaves are also thick and medyo may pagka-purplish blue yung kanyang color, especially nga if they are stressed. Mapapansin natin na dito nga sa pinakagitna na part na medyo na-stress sila, we can fully appreciate yung kanyang stress na color, although dito sa pinaka-outer na parts, hindi siya ganun ka-stress, and that's where we can finally see and appreciate nga yung kanyang variegations na color. We have this parang greenish here and some white lines or parang pale yellow streaks sa kanyang pinaka leaves. So what we have here is a three-headed variegated supreme. This is how it would look like. Ayan siya. They require lots of sunlight to look their best, and when I first got it, ganito yung kanyang itsura before. We cannot even see yung variegation sa kanya, but when I gradually introduce it doon nga sa ating rooftop where it's receiving our all day long na sunlight, it started to give us a more intense na variegation sa kanyang pinaka-leaves. And as we have mentioned earlier, yung kanyang pinaka-stress na color would be like this purplish blue nga yung kanyang itsura. Sometimes yung kanyang color is medyo pinkish. It would not depend kung saan nga tumatama yung ating araw. But nevertheless, it's a very beautiful looking na succulent. So watering this one is also very similar sa ating mga ibang succulents, wherein we have to check nga yung kanyang pinaka-soil. If it has completely dried out, then that's the time we're gonna be watering it thoroughly. So that's what we call yung ating soak and dry method, wherein we're gonna be literally soaking itong kanyang pinaka-soil until mag-drain yung tubig dito nga sa kanyang pinaka-pot. And probably, if you are wondering what are those parang mga cracks dyan, it's probably because of overwatering. Isa siya sa mga succulents na na-expose nga doon sa ating monsoon rains, na talagang na fully soaked siya before we were able to move it nga indoors under our grow lights. But it was already late, naka-absorb na siya ng madaming tubig, and as a result, nagkaroon nga siya nitong mga ito. Although right now, since we have secured our DIY greenhouse, hindi na sila nababasa ng ulan, you would notice na yung kanyang pinaka-new growth are all healthy already, including dito sa isang rosette. Ayan, so very similar yung nangyari. Itong mga leaves na to, yung mga old leaves, ganon. But yung new growth as of now is already normal. Ayan siya. As we kept on mentioning, yung ating overwatering could possibly cause yung ating mga root rot, and yung ating plant could definitely get several pest infestations because of it. Kaya you have to water this succulent carefully. They require an excellent drainage, and that is something that you need to consider nga pag mag-aalaga kayo nitong succulent na to, making sure na yung soil mix ninyo is really well draining. So I have there yung ating pumice stones. Yan. We have also yung ating ipa ng bigas or our rice hull, and this is a mix of our garden soil and some compost. Halo-halo yung soil kung saan siya nakatanim sa ngayon. Amongst all of my succulents, this Variegated Supreme is one of those na talagang sobrang daling alagaan and very low maintenance, na literally kahit na ilagay nyo lang siya sa isang area, it could easily grow. And propagating them is very simple. Pwede yung ating leaves, pwedeng stem cuttings, or ibibehead nga natin siya, or through separation ng kanyang offset. Syempre yung pinakauna nga dyan is through their leaves. And I have here about 2 months na itong leaf na ito. Let's try to get, it's one of those na talagang I tried to propagate and separate. So napakahaba na nung kanyang root. So pinkish to white siya. And look at this one, yung kanyang pinaka-offsets, I'm not sure if how many heads ito, pero mukhang 3. So 1, 2, 3, parang 3 heads siya pag lumaki. And right now, we can see yung kanyang pinkish na color, and therefore since medyo malaki naman na ito and mukhang established na siya, we can already transfer it into its own separate na pot. Ayan. So we are looking forward na magkaroon tayo ng mas madami pang Variegated Supreme or Variegated Pachythoides. And sa ngayon, we will also try to propagate more leaves. Let's try to propagate nga yung mga pinaka-bottom na part, those na hindi natin masyadong nakikita. Ayan, napakadali nitong tanggalin sa kanyang pinaka-stem. Ayan, so we have 1. Ayan, so 2. 3. 4, tsaka isa pa. Patapos na kasi yung ating rainy season, and it's really the perfect time for us to propagate itong ating mga succulents. So we're just gonna be putting itong ating mga leaves na ito in a bright shaded area, wait until na magkaroon sila ng roots and offsets before we can finally plant them into their own separate na pot. But if you don't want to transfer them sa kanilang pinaka-separate pot, what you can do is just simply, itong mga ito, you can just simply put them here sa ating pinaka-mother na pot para hindi nyo ma-misplace yung inyong mga leaves, especially if madami na kayong propagations ng leaves. Sometimes kasi pag nakahalo na ito sa iba nating mga succulents, mahirap na nating malaman kung sino nga ba sila. Kaya sometimes mas maganda na ilagay nyo na lang siya dito sa ating pinaka-original na pot para hindi na tayo malito, and just wait if tutubo ba sila or hindi. One of the easiest way of propagating this is through stem cuttings. Ayan, makikita nyo naman, napakadaling i-cut nung kanyang pinaka-stem. Although I'm not gonna be doing that one kasi I really like na itong ating Variegated Pachythoides na ito would be having these parang clumps of root sets, diba? Napakaganda niyang tignan. And anyway, mabilis naman siyang lumaki through leaves propagation. Kaya I just prefer propagating it using yung kanyang pinaka-leaves. So, from time to time, magkakaroon nga siya ng mga dried leaves, especially sa pinaka-bottom na part. And therefore, we have to remove itong mga ito. We need to watch out for mealybugs, for pest infestations, for our fungal diseases, and we have to treat them right away para laging healthy itong ating succulent. And that's all for our Variegated Supreme. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.